Welcome back, guys. We had 6 games last night. We're going to get into the scores, but, this is a fine Monday morning. This is my final day wearing this uniform, and I'm not excited about getting out of it, but I'm not sad at the same time. But this is going to be a very special morning for me. So we're going to really I'm going to put my all into this Monday, March 30th iteration of the standing board update. We had 6 games last night. Some of them had like major playoff implications. Looks like we have another healthy slate for this evening. We have 5 more games this evening. So that's kind of like what I like. Instead of having these, we have 1 game on. We have 1 game on, and then we have 15 games on. Then the next day we'll have 2 games on. The next day we'll have 13. Give me enough to build a 2 or 3 game parlay on so I can make a donation to FanDuel. That's what I like. Like enough games to pick from. Gotta say, we'll actually just get right into the score right now. So I mentioned that I was going to put some money on Boston yesterday. Granted, I didn't put a parlay in or anything like that. But when I checked the score, man, it's the first period, or I guess the first intermission. Boston's down 3-0. I'm like, I'm very fortunate that I didn't get super confident and put in this parlay. Then, like, at the end of the game, dude, it's like I had it on like a multi-view on ESPN Plus, and I'm watching it. It's like, oh, now it's 3-1. I was like, okay, they're still getting smoked. It's third period, 3-2, 3-2. They're not gonna. I'm watching the Lightning game, the Lightning and the Predators. But in the corner of my eye, I see like they score with like 10 fucking seconds left. It's like, damn, Boston sent this bitch to overtime after like being down the entire game, and then they won. They won in overtime or a shootout or something. Shootout. I didn't catch a shootout, but yeah, man, kudos to Boston. That was a huge game. Let me back up a little bit. We're talking about Boston and Columbus, man. So we got these 2 teams right here. It doesn't get any more important than that. Boston's trying to extend their lead in this wild card spot, in this super tight Eastern Conference. Murderer's row, right? The Blue Jackets, they've spent a decent amount of time over here in the divisional side because they're kind of safe-ish. They've been playing good hockey. Man, you lose a couple games at the wrong time of the year, and you find yourself in the 8th seed, and you can't afford to lose to teams that are in that wild card race. Like, you cannot afford to lose those games. So that was a tough one for them to give up a 3-goal lead and now find themselves on the wrong side of a loss. I mean, they got a point out of it. They did get a point out of it, but yeah, that's got to sting. But that's the first game. Rangers and Panthers. Worst 2 teams in the East. Come back in, Frank. Worst 2 teams in the East. Panthers were getting shut out. They were out shooting New York, but yeah, it was like 3-0. I'm like, this is not looking good for Florida, man. Matthew Tkachuk continues to amaze, though. He has some amazing goals. He had another breakaway goal in this game that got waved off, but it was magnificent, man. He's a great player. I kind of feel bad for them guys in a way. Like, granted, they did win the last 2 cups. I was hoping that they'd at least get an opportunity to defend again. Because, I mean, man, the injuries were just insurmountable for them. Like, losing some of your best players is never easy for anybody, but, like, they just haven't played good hockey. Like, good teams find a way to make it work without their best player. I mean, for example, look at the Dallas Stars. Look what they've been able to do without Rantanen. Granted, their team is sacked as well, but I don't know. Florida's a major disappointment, and they lost the game 3-1. They did finally end up getting a goal at the end, but yeah, not a pretty way to end their season. So this was the main game that I was watching because I'm super into the Predators. I want to see them hold on to that final wild card spot. They did win 5 or 6 games in a row, kind of climb their way up into this final wild card spot. And I do like the team. I like the city. I kind of want to see them get some playoff hockey. But, I mean, they're taking on Tampa Bay, a team that could easily keep that Florida streak of Stanley Cup appearances alive. I mean, when was the last time a non-Florida team represented the Eastern Conference in the Stanley Cup? I don't know off the top of my head, but it's been a hot minute. It's been like at least 5 or 6 years. So it could happen again this year. Tampa is a damn good team. So it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth. There weren't a whole lot of goals early. When I started tuning in, it was 1-1, and then they went tit for tat. Tampa scored, then Nashville got like a weird ricochet goal like just a few seconds later, and then Hagel scored again, I want to say, and put them up 3-2, and that's the way it would stand. Lightning would get a 3-2 regulation win over the Preds, which kind of sucks. I mean, the Preds need these wins. They've only got like a point or two lead over these California commie teams over here. But next game, we got the Montreal Canadiens, Carolina Hurricanes, one of the top seeds in the East. And, man, Carolina, they could have kind of started running away with the conference a little bit, the number one overall seed. But, dude, that Cole Caulfield guys for real, man. And the Canadiens played a really good game. They won 3-1. I was kind of writing off Montreal there for a bit. It's like, man, they could find themselves over on the other side of the board here pretty quick in like the wild card race if they're not careful and Boston continues to play the way that they do. Man, Montreal is still very alive in this divisional race in the Atlantic. I mean, I think they're only 4 points out from the lead, and they're playing their best with only a few games left in the season too. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the matchups are going to be in the playoffs. It's like if my team, the Buffalo Sabres, end up playing Montreal in the first round, it's going to be an amazing series. And it kind of makes me a little nervous just because of how well the Canadiens are playing. But we already touched on the Bruins and the Blue Jackets game. Another game kind of lower in the standings, we had the Blackhawks, the Devils. Devils were able to get the 5-3 victory there. And then another playoff implication matchup here. The Philadelphia Flyers, who had won several games in a row, guys, are trying to climb up this Eastern Conference standing board here in the wild card. They ended up playing Dallas, one of the best teams in hockey, one of my picks from the Western Conference. And, dude, Philly was able to get the overtime victory. So not only did they get the point, they got the full 2 points after beating Detroit, I believe on Saturday. Yeah, so back-to-back. It was either Friday or Saturday. But anyway, they're playing in these huge games with all these, it's do or die for them. It's do or die for them. They've played 1 or 2 less games than everybody else. So, they need to get those W's if they want to be competitive. And they were 4 or 5 points back. Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure now they're tied at least with Ottawa and Detroit. We'll see if there's any movement on the board. But, man, Philadelphia, hottest team in hockey at the moment. I mean, they've won several in a row. They've won 3 in a row, and they're 8-1-1 in their last 10. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. To go from seemingly out of competition to being tied for the last odd man out spot, it's incredible. And if Columbus is going to fuck around and lose a few games, they could find their way behind Philly very soon. But without further ado, we're going to have to do something that's a little painful for me. We'll start in the East just so we can get it over with. But, man, Buffalo Sabres are tied with Tampa, but Tampa's played a game less. So you got to assume Tampa would probably get at least a point in their next game, which means that they would be in first. So to break the tie. Got Tampa in first in the Atlantic, unfortunately. Over in the Metropolitan, nothing changed there. Carolina, they can drop a few games. I mean, honestly, they got a 9-point cushion. Over the Islanders, who are still in second, and Pittsburgh is still holding on to that third spot with 88 points. Jump over to the West Division leaders. Nothing's going to change here. Colorado and Dallas have already tied up their playoff berths, so nothing really to speak of. In the Central, 106, 194. In In the Pacific, no big changes there except for Vegas fired their coach because that team is on paper stacked, but in reality, bitch made. Anaheim, 86 points. Edmonton, 83. And then the Vegas Golden Knights, 80 points. Hopefully they find themselves in a wild card slot here soon. But yeah, all those teams got about 8 games left. Anaheim's got 9 games left. We'll just keep it in the West when we talk about the wild card teams. Nothing changed here. Utah 82, Nashville 77, LA 76, Seattle 75, Winnipeg 74, San Jose 73, St. Louis 73, Calgary 70, Chicago 67, Vancouver has had 50 points for like what seems like the last 6 weeks. Like, is that team gonna fucking win a game? I don't know. But Nashville lost, so LA has played 1 less game. So if LA can get a win, they'll be in the final wild card spot in the West. Seattle's actually played 2 less games than Nashville, so I mean, teams are catching up. Got the wild card in the East. Boston now has a 4-point cushion over the Columbus Blue Jackets. 92 points for Boston, 88 for Columbus. A 3-way tie at 86. All 3 of these teams played 73 games. All 3 of these teams, fucking mosquitoes are biting. All 3 of these teams have played 73 games. All 3 of these teams have 86 points. Philly has fought and clawed their way all the way back into being competitive in the East. But it's going to be really interesting between these 4 teams now. 1 spot, 4 teams. Sucks that 3 of them are going to have to go home, but it is what it is. They should just abolish the Pacific Division and let like 12 teams from the East in and 4 teams from the West. And then everything would be all good. We'd have the 16 best teams in hockey in the playoffs, but nope. Gotta have the Pacific Division in there to get swept in the first round. Anyway, it's mathematically impossible because they're gonna play each other in at least one series. So, but you know what I mean. Washington has 83 points. They've also played 74 games. It's going to take them doing something miraculous, like a Philly-esque run in these last 8 games or so, for them to even find themselves in the mix. New Jersey, 78. Toronto, 75. Florida, way down here at the bottom, 73. And the Rangers were able to tighten up that last place race at 69. So they got gained 2 points on Florida. Florida ends up in dead last in the East. It would be hilarious. 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion down to last place in the East. Unfathomable at the beginning of the year. Meanwhile, got Buffalo, the perennial losers, are looking like one of the best teams in hockey. Really weird, but that's why we love the game. But check out the games for today. Prius. We got 5 of them. Penguins and Islanders at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This game has many, many implications. It's like a big game. This is a potential playoff matchup. This is for basically second place in the division. Then we got the Flames and Avalanche. Is Colorado going to drop another game to a horrible team? We'll see. Flames, Avalanche over there. That looks like that game's in Denver. The Canucks and the Golden Knights, their new coach. Vegas' new coach, John Tortellini. It's like playing on he's coaching like his 15th team. I don't really know, but it seems like he's been the head coach of everybody in the league. They're going to be playing in Vegas versus the Vancouver Canucks, who are the worst team in hockey. But hey, man, if there's any time to be a Canucks fan, now would be that time. We got the Maple Leafs and Anaheim Ducks. That game's going to be at 7 p.m. on ESPN+. That game's going to be in the LA metro area, close to Disneyland. And then we got the St. Louis Blues, who are still technically in it, playing against the Sharks. Actually, this is a big game right here. This is a huge game. I'm actually going to watch this one. They're tied. The Sharks have fucked around and lost enough games to where they are actually tied with the St. Louis Blues, who traded their entire team at the trade deadline. And that's a huge game, man. It's almost like an elimination game. They both have 73 points. I think they played the same amount of games as well. But yeah. Anyway, got some movement, a bunch of people walking around the neighborhood. Probably think I'm a crazy man talking to myself. Go ahead and end the stream, guys. But yeah, that's what we got lined up. This is what the standings are looking like for now. Not a lot of movement, but tomorrow there could definitely be movement. We got like huge matchups. So until next time, I'm going to go ahead and get these uploaded, head to base, and y'all have a blessed Monday. And we'll have to do this again sometime, like about 7 a.m. Arizona time tomorrow. See you.